Hey guys, Psycho here again. Now today we're going to be looking at the Radeon R9 280X by Gigabyte. This is a 3 gig graphics card that came out about 3 years ago. Now it's a little older. We're going to see how it stacks up with today's games, and we're going to see what it's priced at today. So it has 3 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory, a core clock of 1000 megahertz, and a boost clock of 1100 megahertz. It has one DVI port, one HDMI port, and 2 mini display ports. It has 2048 stream processors on a PCI Express 3.0 slot. It has a beefy heatsink system and has one 8-pin connector as well as one 6-pin connector, and I would recommend at least a 500 watt power source. So the card has some pretty decent stats. It looks pretty baller with the 3-cooler design like this. And you're probably wondering, well, what did you actually pay for the card? Well, I got this card second hand, and I only paid $125 for it, which is pretty decent considering this card's only 3 years old. Well, at the time of this video anyways. And it actually does really well in the performance category. So let's have a look at what she can run. So looking at the results, every game was played at 1080p max settings. With Fallout, I had to turn the God rays down on low and the shadow was on medium, but I still managed to get 60 frames a second. It was locked out, so I couldn't get any higher. I did see a minimum of 25, but for the most part it stayed around 50. I did play some older games like Battlefield 3, which I seen 150 frames a second at some point. Battlefield Bad Company 2, seen 180. And I threw in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, even though again it was locked to 60 frames only, but it never dipped below 60 frames. Jumping over to more of a racing style, I did throw Thief in there too. For in-game benchmarks at 1080p max settings, Grid Auto Sports did 43 as an average, Thief did 47, and Dirt 2, being an older game, we managed to get 115 frames a second. And last but not least, we looked at Witcher 3, NBA 2K15, and DBZ Exoniverse. For DBZ, we never seen below 60 frames a second at max settings. For NBA 2K15, for the most part, it stays locked at 60 frames, though in certain scenes it drops down to about 50, which that's just in the cutscenes, there's no big deal. And for The Witcher 3, we had Hairworks turned off, and we hit 60 frames as a max, and it would dip down to 25 at times, but for the most part it stayed within 30 to 40. So in closing, this card does very well for the price point. Now you gotta remember, this card was $330 or thereabouts when it first came out, and I paid $125 for it used. But the card is still in great condition, and buddy that sold it to me said he didn't really use it that much before he upgraded it, which, you know, I had some doubts about it, but all in all, I think it was well worth the investment. I hope you liked this video. Throw me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of graphics card you're running, and if you would like to see more. Anyways, I got some Raiders to kill. And that's how it's done.